what does joy really mean? The whole concept about being autonomous and coming into that awakening is realizing we have the power to self-govern our experiences. So with joy, it's no different than anything else. It's up to us to find the perspective or the way to look at the situation to fulfill that joy within our being. So what is it that's holding us back from being able to enjoy ourselves? What do we consider to be joy? Is that happiness? Is it pleasure? Are we able to roll with the punches? Are we able to find the joy even in those desperate, dark times of despair? Grief, oh boy, grief, death, loss, upheaval. These are huge concepts that really challenge our ability to find joy within our being, especially that sudden grief of loss of a loved one that has passed away. Being able to find joy in life when that person no longer exists in your life. Now that is something that is very difficult to come to terms with for some people, and for others, they're able to process it a lot faster and be able to move on quicker. There's nothing wrong with how we choose to grieve. The only thing that can be wrong is if we don't find a way to grieve in order to find joy again. Because grieving is not meant to be a state that we're supposed to remain in. It's supposed to be a process, awakening, a renewal, a time to morph into another version of ourselves because of that wisdom that we have incurred during that time of sorrow. So tonight with joy, the hummingbird spirit is here to show us that we can fly back and forth in either direction in the ability to find joy in our life. So to find that joy, we have 2 animals tonight to guide us on a path forward this week. Will you be finding the path to the left or to the right? Let's see what the left has to say. Oh, hello, rabbit. All right, so with the rabbit, you're definitely going to be getting that anxiety, that anxiousness, feeling overwhelmed, that timidness, the constant what ifs. The what ifs can really make us stuck in another time, place that we're not able to be present and to find that joy. So we need to stop, look, and listen and find that moment to realize that our thoughts do matter. The rabbit is definitely connected with that earth element. So really being able to find a way to be present within our physical reality versus shying away to our rabbit hole of thoughts. So don't allow those irrational fears. Even if irrational fears, I don't like to use the word irrational, but sometimes irrational fears could come from a karmic past situation. So maybe this is the time for rabbit energy to come in to help clear away that negative karmic trauma that's keeping us from finding that joy in our life. So call upon the rabbit to find the ability to switch things up. Joy with the hummingbird is definitely encouraging that ability of that adaptability and that change to flip the script. That's within our power autonomously to do. Let's see the path to the right. Ah, the crow. I personally love the crow. It's the caw of law. The thing about the crow is that just kind of like everything, sometimes things get a bad rap. Or a negative omen, but the crow is very spiritual, magical, mystical, transformative. It really has the ability to develop our psychic intentions. So how we're diving into this world of our everyday reality, how we choose to look at joy, and how we apply our magic. Now, magic isn't just abracadabra, that is a very powerful word, but it's also the ability for autonomy, the ability to self-govern our mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical realities, being able to integrate those realities within the 3D reality. And when you have that integration, we come into our full power. The crow is here to say that there is a whole sociability that should be coming around you right now. The crow is saying maybe it's time to kind of step out and find your peers, kind of find that gathering to kind of connect into. The journey is not meant to go about it alone. So maybe joy is the ability to interconnect with like-minded people. Crows are also monogamous and they mate for life. So they are definitely a cool card if you are searching for that tribe mentality or that mate that you think that might bring joy into your life. But regardless of everything else in life, things and people, The only thing that is guaranteed is our autonomy while we have our consciousness to be able to think for ourselves, to feel for ourselves. And if we are able to do that for ourselves, we can govern the ability to create joy for ourselves. So with the rabbit, it's definitely saying that springtime is definitely a cool new cycle for yourselves to be stepping forward. Crow is definitely looking to the future. It could be also dealing with those timelines of being able to have the sight of the past, present, and future. So with Crow, the memories are definitely all about making sure they don't keep you too much in the past. So let's see what a couple of cards have to say for our journey this week for Rabbit and Crow, and how we can find joy within our spirit. The strength in which we seek, waiting, nutrition, our intuition and psychic abilities. So with these cards, we're definitely finding that the Nine of Wands here in the center of our reality is when we come into joy, that is the ability to have that emotional and mental and physical balance, being able to fulfill our realistic everyday duties, as well as fulfilling our spiritual side. What is our purpose? What makes us want to roll out of bed in the morning with a smile on our face? When we come into that power and to that strength, there's nothing better than feeling empowered in our own skin, to feel that joy that comes with being able to have that physicality to support our endeavors within reality. The Knight of Discs is letting us know that nutrition could be a huge factor in how to bring joy forward into our lives. What we consume is what we are. So if we are consuming highly processed sugars or anything that's fast food, let's try blessing that food. Let's try changing up that attitude with food. You know, being able to find time to kind of govern and be able to spend a little extra time and care on preparing a meal really creates a whole different experience. I know for myself, going out into a restaurant these days, if that kitchen is not in a happy place, the food is terrible. I don't care how amazing the food is, how well known the restaurant is. If there is anger or any type of hatred, I am feeling what is in that food. So nutrition, how you think about things, is a part of joy. So make sure what you're feeding yourself is joyful, which is loving, is comforting. Sometimes after a stressful day, we need that comfort food because that makes us feel like, oh, that feels so good. It warms us up on the inside. So the Nine of Discs is letting us know that there's a sturdy mobility that is coming into our being. We might be feeling that our past is kind of like looking to the future. So you're kind of feeling like you're missing out on the joy in the moment maybe, but really the joy is in this moment that you're finally able to kind of just take in the sights, take in the view, take this time to rest and nurture yourself in order to build that strength of going forward. The Priestess is calling us as we step forward, moving forward in this direction. The Priestess is all about intuition. So with the Crow, it's definitely accentuating that psychic ability. Everyone has their own intuition, their gut instincts, and their ability to navigate for themselves. So one thing about joy is being able to trust oneself and to be able to see how we can nurture nature. So if we truly find and trust our intuition, we probably are going to be less miserable. Because I know that when I second guess myself in the past, oh my God, it's even more annoying. I'd rather be ignorant to the situation and then to willfully ignore my gut intuition and not follow through with it and then watch the consequences. So one thing about joy is listening to yourself. Going someplace that you don't want to go, like when it goes against every being in your body, every thought, every feeling, and you still go and you show up and you're like, oh, this is just a waste of my time. That's not creating joy. So the Priestess is here to say that if you truly govern your internal realm, how you feed yourself, food as well as your mental thoughts, you can develop that physicality of that strength and that vitality, and that Priestess energy is going to be help guiding that intuition. So it's fun too that the rabbit is definitely connecting into the earth spirit of the Knight of Discs. Let's see, and for a final card tonight for this hummingbird experience with joy, how we're going to be able to be more flexible and adaptable and coming into our intuition, finding our spirit of creativity, being able to find that adaptability and abundance in life. And that's going to become a point of friendliness. Now, this concept has come up before, and I definitely love how this pink color is really coming to highlight here within this card. It is showing that when we take these colors and blend them together, especially with this crow energy here, you can really see this color being really popping. It takes two, it's like red and blue. You're going to be able to make some purple. It's definitely the concept of blending ideas, being able to really see that you could, it's not just one or the other. It's not just the rabbit or the crow. It is saying stop taking all that worry and the what ifs of the rabbit and find that fruitility of being able to be passionate, creative, abundant, that fertility that comes with that spontaneity with rabbit, and then be able to blend that with the vision of the crow, the murder of crows, being the sociability, the playfulness, the trinkets. It's about taking both concepts, melding what pieces take and let go of the pieces that don't work for you. And when you find that way to blend what's going on within your life, you could really find that friendliness, that sociability, and that ability to make lemonade out of lemons. So I prefer strawberry lemonade. I think there's all different ways that you can go about it, but how you choose to go about it isn't wrong. The only thing that can be wrong in life is denying your joy, putting yourself last, feeling that it's not important for your happiness or that your well-being. That's the only wrong thing that we can do, because that is cutting ourselves off from source. So trust your intuition, connect into your ability to connect into source, find that joy, because joy comes from our inside outwards, and the more we embrace ourselves, the more we're going to be able to find that joy and that spark that we're looking to carry us forward. So I appreciate you all joining into Awakening Autonomously with Joy this week. Look forward to seeing what we have for next week. Have a fabulously magical week. Cheers.